So this card, I think probably people have seen this before. I haven't actually finished this one at the front. I didn't get time to do it. But inside, it's a 3D pop-up book card. And I've done it with an aperture in it. Now, I saw Anne Melvin, Positively Papercraft. I saw her do it, and I really liked the way she did it. She did it more of a scene, but I thought we'd have a go with it. So I've done it quite simple. And I have used a die to cut out the aperture, but you don't have to. When I did my little prototype, this one here, I actually hand cut that circle. So I drew round the inside of a roll of tape, and then I just cut round it with a Stanley knife. So you can do it, you know, without a die. On this one, I used some pre-cut ephemera things that I got from China. I've recently arrived. Again, that I'll be doing a video with all the what I got on those. If I start messing my words up, it's because I'm very tired. So today we are going to do one, and I'm going to use some papers that I've had for a long time. I think I got given them actually. They're Craft Sensation papers. It's this vintage holiday Craft Sensation paper, but I never use it. And it goes really well with some of the happy haberdashery bits in the digital kits from Antonio Makes. And as you know, if you use Louise 10, you'll get 10% off the order. Again, I'll put all that in the description afterwards. So that's what we're using. So let's make a start. Now, I haven't completely planned this out in my head. I've sort of had to go at trying to prep some stuff. But as I said, my brain's a bit scrambled right now. So you'll have to bear with me. So you need a base card that is 6 inches by 12 inches. You're going to score it halfway at 6 inches. If you've got a 6x6 card blank, you could use that. I just really wanted to have a different colour than white. So that's my 6x6 card blank. I've done it in the navy. This piece is 5 3/4 by 11.5. And I would kind of use it, I would say do a different colour, because this is going to be this gold piece here, or this rose gold piece here. So I've used a contrasting colour. I could have gone with a white, but I quite like the red and the blue together. So on this, on the reverse side that you're not going to be seeing, you want to go ahead and along the short edges, both short edges, you're going to make a little mark 1 inch in from there, and then the same on this side, 1 inch in from here. And if you do the same on the bottom, so I'm going to go 1 inch. So I've marked 1 inch down from the top. I'm now going to go 1 inch from along the long ways, from the side in 1 inch. So from there up to 1 inch in from here, and I'm just going to draw a line. We will cut along this line, but for now, I'm just going to do that. Now, I'm hoping you can see that. I'm not sure if you can. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the bottom. So we've got our inch in the mark somewhere. Oh, there it is. There's our inch in that way. So now we need to line the two up and then go across all the way until you get to the inch the other side. Now you can sort of see it, but you can kind of get the idea of what I'm doing there. Right, so next I'm just going to keep wiping my ruler because I'm using white pen. Next, what we want to do is make a mark 2 inches in from the side. So if we just place this on here, I'm going to make a mark here. So you've already got a mark here, and you've got a mark here. I would also make a mark at 2 7/8 as well along this line that you've drawn. You want to make another mark at 5 3/4, which is here. Another mark at 8 5/8, which is, now unfortunately my ruler goes a bit squiffy, but it's about there. One at 9 1/2, and then you've already got your 10 1/2. Okay, and then you can see the lines, excellent. And then you want to repeat those at the top. So along that second line that you did at the top, again, you're going to make a mark. You've already made a mark at 1 inch. So you need to make a mark at 2 inches, 2 7/8, 5 3/4, 8 5/8, I'm gonna have to guesstimate where 8 5/8 is, about there. 9.5, and you've already got your 10.5. Okay. And then you're going to take your ruler and a score tool, and you're going to score between those two lines on the first score line. So that's on the first score line, and on the second score line as well, like that. The next score line up, which is your 2 7/8, you're only going to score above the line and below the line. You're not going to score in the middle. So above and below, that's it. The next one you're going to score all the way, top to bottom, like that. And then we reverse it. So this next one here, we are going to score, so this line is the 8 5/8 line. We're just going to score above the lines and below the lines, nothing in the middle. And then the last two lines are just in the middle of the card. So one there and one there, like that. So now what we want to do is we want to cut that line, that white line that goes all the way along. We want to cut that along that line, making sure obviously you stop at the right places. So we're going to go from this end all the way down. Now the card I've used for this, you don't want to go too thick. It's about 200 GSM. The one that I used, the glittery one, that was really quite thick, and actually I think it was too thick, if I'm honest. So you really want to go something a bit less than that. Okay, so you end up with that. Okay, so you've literally cut from there all the way down there. I'm going to turn it over now because this is the front of my card. Before, actually no, I think we'll score first. We'll fold and burnish first, and then we'll go ahead and die cut the circles out. So what we're going to do, the first score line needs to be, so this one here needs to be a valley, and this is why you kind of need a better, like a thinner card really. Then you've got a mountain, which is there. Then you got a valley, a mountain, and a valley. Okay, and then try not to bend the top and the bottom if you can. So I'm just going to just go over those, re-burnish those lines I've just done, or some of them. I'm not going to do them all. I don't want to crease the wrong bits. So, just do that like that. And then what you want to do is on this one here, this needs to be a valley, and that middle one needs to be a mountain. So there's a mountain there, valley there, valley there. Same on the bottom. Valley, mountain, valley. So that gives you your kind of what it should look like. And then what I would do is just fold it all up like that. Make sure it folds nice and flat, and give it a really good burnish so it kind of knows where it should be. And this is the time when, if you want to just, you know, eke it over a little bit, because if I turn this over, I don't know if you can see, I've got a bit of a line here. But I might end up trimming that off, because what'll happen is that'll be uneven on the edge if you're not careful. So I think I will just trim that off. Okay, so that's what you should end up with. So if you wanted to, you could just do it like that and just put panels on here and decorate, you know, stick it in your card and decorate it. But we're going to take it a step further, aren't we? Of course we are. We're living dangerously. Yes. So then what we want to do is take a die. So and again, as I said, if you want to, you could use the inside of a bit of tape. That's what I used on my prototype. And we're going to lay this on. So we've got to put everything back flat again. Right, so let's put this on here. I am going to tape it into place because the way things are going today, I feel like it's going to end up moving if I don't. So I'm just going to use a little bit of low tack tape. This is Crafter's Companion low tack tape that I actually got from the works. And it works quite well. As I said, if you haven't got a dime cutting machine and dies, it doesn't matter, because you can do it the other way with a bit of, you know, any kind of circle that fits. And then just draw around it and cut it out that way. If you've got a die cutting machine, then use it. because it makes life a lot easier. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and I just need to make sure that I get this pretty much lined up so that it's central. So there we are, we have our two little pieces cut out. That's what you end up with. Now if you wanted to, you could go ahead and decorate bits and bobs. You could do what you wanted to. I'm just going to recrease my lines. You could put decorations down here, you can do what you want. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as plain, and I'm going to decorate it instead. You might want to get, when you're choosing what card you use for this bit, you might want to make sure you don't use one with white core. This has got white core on it, and I'm now finding that like here I've got a little bit of white peeking through. It's fine, because what I can do is I can cover it up with a embellishment or something, or make it busy enough that it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's put that to one side and come back in with our card base. So on our card base, you are going to need some pattern paper. You need 2 pieces for the inside and 1 for the outside. Now the outside one is slightly bigger. I actually wrote front on mine. Here it is. So the outside piece, it's smaller. The outside piece is 5.5 by 5.5. That's for the front of your card. And then the inside pieces are 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. Now they would have been 5 3/4, but I wanted to make sure that when you stick this over the top, you don't end up with bits of pattern paper around the outside. So that's why I went slightly smaller. And then what we're going to do next is take our big piece and we're going to stick this in. Now I think it's better to use wet glue. You can use red tape, but I quite like the wet glue option because you get a chance to just kind of wiggle it around, you know, fiddle with it and make sure it fits. So also, if you wanted to, now would be the time. If you want to stick anything at the back here behind things, now is the time to do it. Just wondering if I want to do that. Let me have a look. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing with this card. I've cut out some bits. Let me just put the glue back on. I've cut out some bits from the Happy Haberdashery pack from Antonio Makes. So these little rosette things, and I've cut them out because I thought they were rather cool and they're very nautical. So the ones with the actual brads on, I'm going to use those on the front. And then there's these little ribbony things, and I thought I could probably put these down the sides, have them kind of decoration and stuff. So that was my idea with those. And then I've got all these. Now these I was thinking of having some inside, some outside, and just kind of rosetting the place up. If you wanted to, you could create a scene, and I have cut out some waves because I was thinking about doing a boat, but I haven't done a boat because I couldn't find a boat that worked. I might still do the waves though. I feel like I might put, I might put some waves in actually, and then I have got a boat, but it was quite big. It was quite a big boat, but I might have a go. So let's stick the waves in now before I do anything else. Right, I'm just going to move those to one side. So let me get this. This middle bit here measures 3 and, well, it's about 3.5. 3.5 would do. So I'm just going to take my darker waves that I've already cut out, and I used an edge die for this one. So 3.5 to here, like that, and then I'm just going to hand cut 3.5, and then I'm going to lay that on and do it again. It's not very straight, but whatever. There we go. And then I'm also going to cut out a 3.5 inch strip for this bit here and just stick that over the top. I'm just going to stick these waves down, and then I'm going to stick waves on the other side, and then we will cut out a boat, I think. So when you turn it round, there we've got my waves going on, which I quite like. I am going to have to cut some boats out though. Right, so let's just stick a little bit of, I'm going to stick a little bit of red tape on the bottom here, like this. I've put the red tape the wrong way around, but never mind. Right, let's just peel this backing off. This bit there, and this bit there, like that. And then let's just turn this round so I can get it in the right place. So I think it needs to be about there. And then, oh yeah, I like that. That's cool. This is looking better than I envisaged it was going to look, so that's good. Right, I'm going to stick that down like that. I need to make sure I'm straight though. Might have an awesome birthday. Is not squiffy. And I also don't want it popping out the bottom. So I reckon about there. Yep, there we go. Oh yeah, I'm quite liking that. Right, okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and stick it down. I was going to have rosettes and things in the background, but I'm not going to now. I shall put some on the inside. I'm probably going to use some of this. I quite like these little bits. I think this is quite cool. These are quite cool, bit of decoration. So I'm going to have a go with those in a minute. So we're going to stick this down first. So what we need to do is glue this back bit here. So on this back bit you only want to glue this section here. Okay, so, or tape, whatever you're using, but whatever you use needs to be something sort of strong. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some glue all the way around. There we go, like that. And then turn it over, and then I'm just going to line this up so that it's even top and bottom and the same border on the left. And you also want to make sure it's kind of straight as well. So let's just spread that out. Oh, let's just angle that a bit more there. Yeah, so that's that bit there. So it's just that little L shape. Well, no, it's not an L shape, is it? It's a partial E shape. Now this next bit you could do in two different ways, but it really, how it ends up is really depends on how you've scored it. If you've scored it really accurately or not. Right, so next what we're going to do is I'm going to fold it up nice and flat like this, and I'm going to add glue again to this section here, and I'm going to shut the card onto it. Now this is why I use wet glue, because then if you need to move it slightly you can. If you use red tape you do risk it being stuck down wonky, and nobody wants a bit of card stuck down wonky. Right, let's close this on here like that, and then as soon as I've done it I'm going to open it up and just double check that it's definitely even, and it is. Hooray, fantastic. So this is why I use wet glue, because there have been times when I've opened it up and this is like wonky, or it's too far over, or I don't know. So yeah, so there we go, that looks good. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that, and I'm happy I made that go up from the sea. Excuse the boy racers going past. This is what I deal with on a daily basis when I'm doing videos and I've just stuck something down and somebody roars up the road with their big old car. Right, okay, so that is that. So now we're just going to decorate it up. So I'm going to use some of these little happy haberdashery bits. So on the front, you need your pattern paper, and you also need a matte layer. Now, for some reason, I haven't cut my mat out, so I'm going to do that now. So that's going to go on the front there. That's going to go on the front of there. I've got a happy birthday, and then I was wondering about having some little bits and bobs on the front, or I was thinking about doing rosettes. Now I think I quite like the ribbon bits on the front. There's the front. I quite like it. It's kind of a, it looks like the wind's blowing. And then inside we've got this. I think that's probably it. So there we go. So that's the inside, and then it folds up, and then that's the front. And obviously it fits in a envelope for a 6x6 card. I knew the word was going to come out in a minute. So 6x6 card. Yep, there you go. So that's the front. I feel like I need gems on here, but if it's going to be for a man, I probably shouldn't do gems. Yes, this might change. We'll see. But yeah, so there you go. So that's that.